The importance of correct context. When using words, context is extremely important. One should always ask, what is the context in which the word is being used? During the existence of the system of white supremacy, racism, many people have been taught or guided into promoting confusion and non-correct conflict by repeating or altering some of the words of a non-white person in a manner that did not best reveal the truth of the intended effect of those words. Therefore, according to compensatory counter-racist logic, and in order to reveal truth in a manner that best promotes the production of justice and correctness, the context in which anything is said or done should be given correct consideration. Like a crawling infant attempting to walk, all errors that are made by any person who seriously attempts to produce justice are errors that can only be revealed through the process of the attempt. The will to produce justice is the first thing that must happen before justice can be produced. The will to produce justice is itself the beginning of the end of error. Therefore, the initial purpose of this work is to help people to produce the will to do justice. Information and guide for compensatory thought, speech, and or action. Racism, a basic perspective. The matter sometimes referred to as the race problem is the basic initial unfinished business among the people of the known universe. Therefore, it is not possible to effectively speak and or act to eliminate any major problem that involves people without first eliminating the problem of racism, white supremacy, in every area of people activity, including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, counter war. In order to do this, it is necessary for victims of racism, non white people, in effective numbers, to know and understand who the racists, white supremacists, are, how they function, and for what ultimate purpose. The victims of racism must also know and understand how the power of the racists to practice racism can be nullified and or eliminated by victims of racism speaking and or acting as individual persons, all by choice, according to a compensatory counter-racist code based on the logic of cause and effect, effect and cause and effect and cause, constructive and non-constructive, constructive and non-constructive. These are the things to seek, to know, and understand. Everything that every person and every creature does or does not do is at all times either constructive or non-constructive in effect. There is no other value measure for anything that is said or done. In every area of existence, every event is either constructive or non-constructive. This is according to the logic that is part of the laws of the known universe. 9 areas of people activity in the known universe. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe, and there are 9 major areas of people activity. 1, economics. 2, education. 3, entertainment. 4, labor. 5, law. 6, politics. Religion. 7, religion. 8, sex. 9, war, counterwar. Area number 1. Area 1. Economics means the correct distribution of and or balance between all animals, persons, places, plants, things, etc. Economics, in the correct use, in the correct sense, is the sum total of all the thought, speech, and or action used to produce maximum efficiency in revealing truth in a manner that promotes the establishment of justice and correctness in all areas of activity. Economics also means using all things, thought, speech, and or action with maximum efficiency with the objective of eliminating racism, white supremacy. Economics does not mean simply acquiring, saving, and or spending money. Economics is not a tool of money. Money is a tool of economics. Economics is the result of people speaking and acting effectively in the production of justice and correctness. It is not simply how money is handled that determines economics. It is a matter of how everything is handled and to what end. Economics pertains to how all time and all energy is used. In order for a person who is a victim of racism, a non-white person, to practice economics, the person must speak and act to produce justice and correctness in the sum total of everything that he or she says and everything he or she does. This includes the use of time and energy in the consumption of food and drink, in acts of sexual intercourse and or thoughts of sexual intercourse, in the use of music, in the manner and use of labor, etc. For example, if listening to a particular type of sound inspires a person to think better while performing some function that helps to eliminate racism, then that type of sound becomes music. And that person at that time serves an economical purpose. The same is true for any other thing and or function pertaining to a person in any of his or her day-to-day activities. In regards to any action against racism, economic correctness is not determined by one thing that a victim of racism does or does not do, but the sum total of everything that the victim does or does not do in terms of effective results against racism. Area 2. Education means the process of learning all things about all things and or the process of learning all things about one thing. If all is known about one thing, then all is known about all things because all things are interrelated. Any learning situation is a school, and any school is a learning situation regardless of time or place. A person who is learning is at that time in school. All education should be for the purpose of correct problem solving. Area 3, entertainment means any activity that is desired or enjoyed including that which is just or unjust, and that which is correct or incorrect. Entertainment can be either constructive or non constructive. Area 4, labor. Labor means any act of using time and energy to accomplish an objective. Constructive labor can and should be entertaining. Area 5. Law means anything that is done. Area 6. Politics means people relations and or any interaction between people at any time, in any place, in any area of activity. Area 7, religion means the sum total of everything that a person thinks and everything that he or she says, plus everything that he or she does. A religion includes all parts of a person's existence, each part of each day. Even those parts are never put into words. Even if those parts are never put into words, they are still a part of a person's religion if that person willfully and deliberately speaks and acts according to those parts. Religion is not separate from existence, nor is it separate from any part of existence. A person's religion is anything that a person strongly believes, plus what that person supports by his or her willful actions. Actions. Area 8, sex means any socio-material interaction between a male and a female. Area 9, war means any willful or deliberate, unjust or non-correct speech and or action that are directly or indirectly used effectively against any creature, person, etc. Counter war means speech and or action used to stop a person, animal, etc., from doing unjust and or non-correct harm, and the sum total of all words and all deeds that helps to eliminate racism and helps to replace racism, white supremacy, with justice, balance between people. Notes: all the areas of activity are interrelated. All of the areas of activity are interrelated. What happens in one area affects all of other areas of activity. What a person does in the area of economics affects what that person does in the area of religion and or sex or war, etc. The racists, white supremacists, by dominating their victims, non-white people, in one area of activity, at the same time, also dominate them in all other areas of activity because all areas are interrelated. 4 basic motivating factors in people behavior in the known universe. It is 2:30 in Central Europe. All right. 4 basic motivating factors in people behavior in the known universe. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are 4 basic motivating factors in people behavior in the known universe: racism, white supremacy, reaction to racism, sexual expression, reaction to sexual expression. Racism, white supremacy, reaction to racism, sexual expression, reaction to sexual expression. Explanation: racism is the form of white supremacy. Racism in the form of white supremacy is the greatest motivating force by people that exists. among the people of the known universe. Every person in the known universe is either practicing white supremacy or he or she is compelled at all times to react to those persons who are practicing it. Both the practice of white supremacy and the reaction to it affects all people in all areas of activity, including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, counterwar. Sexual intercourse or sexual play is the second motivating force by people that exists among the people of the known universe. Every person in the known universe is either engaging in acts of sexual intercourse and or sexual play, or he or she is at all times directly or indirectly reacting to those who are so engaged. Both the acts of sexual intercourse and or sexual play and the reactions to such acts affect all people in all areas of activity. No other social material forces by people affect so many people in so many places so much in so many areas of activity as the factors of racism, and sex. Racism, and sex. Okay? Three basic goals sought by most people in the known universe. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are three basic goals sought by most people in the known universe: to survive by any means necessary, number one. Number two, to dominate others through deceit and or direct violence, including the threat of direct violence, or to establish peace. Three basic goals sought by most people in the known universe: to survive by any means. By any means necessary. To dominate others through deceit and or direct violence, including the threat of direct violence, or to establish peace. Explanation. Most people in the known universe have no major goal greater than to survive by any means necessary. Most of the smartest and most powerful people in the known universe have no major goal greater than dominating and abusing others using deceit, direct violence, and or the threat of violence. A few people have no major goal greater than the establishment of peace. A few people have no major goal greater than the establishment of peace. Two basic problems among the people of the known universe. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are two basic problems among the people of the known universe. One, a lack of knowledge and understanding of the reason for one's existence, problem solving, and or for one's non-existence, compounded by and promoted by, comma, the practice of racism, white supremacy. Explanation. Every problem among the people of the known universe can be traced to a lack of knowledge and understanding of the logical reason for one's existence and or non-existence, compounded and promoted by the practice of racism in the form of white supremacy. This is true in all areas of activity. Three basic requirements in the establishment of peace. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are three requirements in the establishment of peace. Truth, the revelation of, plus justice and correctness. Explanation. Truth. Truth is what that which is. Justice is the balance between people, guaranteeing that no person is mistreated and guaranteeing that the person who needs the most help gets the most constructive help. Correctness is balance between people and all things, animals, plants, minerals, etc., other than people. Correctness is whatever produces constructive results. Peace is the result of the revelation of truth and the use of truth in a manner that produces justice and correctness. When all people speak and or act to use truth in a manner that produces justice and correctness at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity, peace is the result. Notes. Keep in mind that as long as white supremacy, racism exists, there is no way for justice and correctness and peace to exist. Keep in mind that everything you have and everything that you will ever have is a gift to be used only for constructive purposes. Keep in mind that the system of white supremacy, racism is a system of mistreatment specifically designed to produce great numbers of throwaway non-white people. The term throwaway people is used to apply to the way that a limited number of non-white people are evaluated from time to time and judged to be fit for extermination and or rendered useless by the racist white supremacists. In order to better serve the system of white supremacy. Producing throwaway people is non-just and non-correct. 4 basic entitlements toward the production of justice. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are 4 basic entitlements towards the production of justice. 1, adequate learning facilities for constructive communications so that every person knows the truth about everything that he or she needs to know in order to do what should be done. 2, adequate housing and constructive control over adequate space, land, etc. 3, adequate and progressive health facilities and nutritional products. Okay. 4, adequate, safe, comfortable, convenient, and efficient transportation. Learning facilities, education, housing, health, and transportation. 4 basic entitlements towards the production of justice. Yep. We need to know someplace to live, good health, and a means to go. All right. 2 basic qualifications for producing and or promoting justice. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are 2 basic qualifications for producing and or promoting justice. 1, speaking and acting to find and reveal truth in regards to the interactions between all people in all parts of all areas of activity, including economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, war, counter-war. 2, upon finding truth, speaking and acting to produce justice on the basis of the truth found. Racism, some initial questions. Why race? What makes racism so important as a problem? What about the other problems of unemployment, housing, food shortages, healthcare, robbery, and laziness? What about tribalism and sexism? What about the confusion that exists in the area of religion? What about capitalism and communism and drugs and alcohol and ignorance and pollution and lying politicians? Why race? Is it not narrow minded to see racism as the major evil? Did not other evils exist long before the practice of racism? What about the problems of distrust and greed and envy and murder among non white people as well as white people? What about economics? Why not see it? Why not see to it that everyone is adequately fed and housed first? Why not work to establish a system that guarantees that every person will be comfortable and protected, regardless of color or non color? Why not reach for a greater goal? Why not eliminate the problems of distrust, greed, envy, and murder among all people? Why single out the race issue as being more important than any of the other problems that continue to plague the people of the known universe? Why continue endless squabbles about the conflict between white people and non white people? Why not eliminate the other major problems? And by doing so, through that process, dismantle the need for people to practice racism, white supremacy. Why not have the smartest people of goodwill, regardless of color, sex, or age, come together and solve the real problems of the world instead of wasting time with what is really an artificial barrier? Racism, some initial answers. According to the compensatory According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are three basic types of people in the known universe: white people, non-white people, and white supremacists, racist man and racist woman collectively. Explanation: one, white. One, white people are people who are white, are people white people are people who are white who classify themselves as white, who are white, who classify themselves as white, who have been classified as white by other people classified as white, who have been accepted as white, and who function as white in all areas of activity, economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, counter-war. Two, non-white. Non-white people are people who have been classified as non-white and who generally function as non-white in all their interaction with other people with other people classified as non-white and with people classified as white in all areas of activity. The non-white category classification includes all shades of black, brown, beige, tan, red, yellow, etc. Three, white supremacists, racist man and racist woman collectively, are white people who classify themselves as white, who generally function as white, and who practice racial and who practice racial subjugation based on white non-white classifications against people classified as non-white at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity. They deliberately dominate and mistreat people of color, non-white people. 6 important characteristics of racist man and racist woman. According to compensatory counter-racist logic, there is reason to believe that there are 6 most important characteristics of racist man and racist woman. 1. Racist man and racist woman. Racist man and racist woman, white supremacists collectively, is any white man and woman who speak and or act in such a manner as to produce or promote the practice of white supremacy, racism at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity. 2. Racist man and racist woman are collectively the smartest, most powerful, most malicious, most deceitful, most technical, most efficient, most inventive, and most skillfully violent of all the people of the known universe. 3. Racist man and racist woman have as their ultimate objective the eternal promotion of their pride, ego, and arrogant incentive by producing the eternal domination and abuse of people who they classify as non-white. 4. Racist man and racist woman always use deceit, indirect violence, direct violence, or the threat of direct violence to accomplish their ultimate objective by establishing, maintaining, expanding, and or refining the practice of racism, white supremacy. 5. Racist man and racist woman do not at any time willfully and deliberately do or say anything without the intention of establishing, maintaining, expanding, and or refining the practice of racism in all areas of activity. 6. Racist man and racist woman, by practicing racism, are the greatest promoters of falsehood, non-justice, incorrectness, and incorrectness among the people of the known universe. Okay. Notes. All right. Notes. Racist man and racist woman make it their business to train their victims, non-white people, to react to every situation in a manner that causes their victims to do more harm to themselves than they do to the system of white supremacy, racism. A skilled white supremacist takes great pride in his or her ability to predict with great precision what it is that a non-white person will do or say and will not do or say in most or all situations. A skilled white supremacist usually knows exactly what a non-white person is thinking. They usually know what to do or say to a non-white person or about a non-white person. The things that will make that non-white person to be calm, be sad, be happy, or be wildly angry. All of these reactions are designed to be for the benefit of the system of white supremacy, racism. They make a precise study of a non-white person's strengths and weaknesses. They usually make sure that they know more about the non-white person than the non-white person will ever know about them, the white supremacist racists. The white supremacists are usually the masters in the science of getting a non-white person to talk about their personal feelings in regards to all the 9 areas of people activity: economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war, counter-war. They are usually the masters at getting non-white people to do things out of emotion rather than the use of logic. Huh? Yes, sir. Can we turn that off? Can we turn this off? And can we turn it off, please?